Hello everyone, this is Alex of Coyote Star Astrology, and this is my video for the new moon in Aquarius coming in on January 31st, 2022, which is a Monday here on Pacific Standard Time. It will be at 9:44 p.m. PST. However, please do adjust for your current location as that time and date may change. And if I sound a little bit lower energy today, it's because I was actually gonna try to film the video tomorrow when I felt a little bit better, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep it real because I think that a lot of people are feeling a lot, to put it mildly, at the moment. So just gonna channel it through authentically how it's showing up for me. For those of you that are following my journey on Instagram, I've been posting a little bit in my Instagram stories about the journey I've been on with my health, which took kind of a intense turn over the last week, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this video talking about it. Maybe in a live soon, because it's just a lot. But yeah, I've really been going through the shadow journey, and I know that a lot of people are. And so before I get into the new moon, which is right here at 12 degrees Aquarius, conjunct Saturn. Pretty interesting. I want to talk about the change in the field over the last couple of weeks. Since we've had the switch from our South Node in Sagittarius and our North Node in Gemini, and we've come into the South Node in Scorpio and the North Node in Taurus. This happened on the 18th of January. So we're still settling into this energy. It kind of took a moment, but I have really felt this in the field, and I'm sure many of you have. So the change that I've felt, it's been a plunging. It's a bit of a slowing down and a switch from the more mental chitter-chatter, media, headlines, beliefs, dogmas, all of that crap, honestly, that we've had been dealing with over the last year and a half. Vax, no vax, my beliefs, your beliefs, right and wrong, all of that was really hallmark of the South Node Sag, North Node Gemini. And now all of that has really slowed down. There's less exchange of ideas, less sort of stubbornness around asserting one's views. And now it has shifted, and as I said, really plunged into the depths of Scorpio. And I say Scorpio, I mean, of course, we have a North Node in Taurus, which is lovely, and we will all be on our journey towards that. But if we look at the glyph of the North Node here, the North Node looks like a handle that we're sort of reaching for. The South Node sort of looks like a bowl or like a basket or something. And when I was learning astrology, I always remembered that the South Node is like a basket that's full of our karma, because it's that past life karma. And the North Node represents this new evolutionary process or this new evolutionary lesson or potential, but it's a stretch. It's new. It's a new level. And when the nodes switch to a new archetype, we are often dealing with the South Node energies first, because we have to sort through that karma first. And then it's over that 18-month journey that we begin to have the potential of the North Node brought to us gradually over time, as we learn, as we level up, as we change. But right now we are adjusting and assimilating and greeting this new South Node Scorpio energy. So It's deeper, it's slower, it's more private. And of course, this deals with change. And whenever we talk about Scorpio in astrology, we always use those words, right? Change, metamorphosis, transformation. And scorpionic transformation is so difficult because it requires us to confront our fears, the things we're most afraid of, the things that destroy us. And we're undertaking the shamanic process of metamorphosis, but that requires letting go, and it requires a death of what was. And this is very hard for the ego. You know, a good example is a breakup, for example, if someone's going through a dissolving of their marriage, even though this might be a very healthy decision for both parties as they recognize that at this current juncture in their journey, they're no longer meant to stay together, but this requires letting go of the visions, the plans, the ideas for the potential future, and a separation. And a willingness to undergo loss and uncertainty for the future so that that new reality can come in. And then as you fast forward through the healing process years later, usually it turns out that that was exactly what needed to happen. And hindsight, you know, it's 2020. We're often better off once we finally let go of something that's not working or something that is shifting beyond our control. There's a lot of that in the field right now. Change beyond our control and just having to kind of surrender to that. So, yeah, there's a lot of that deep shamanic needing to release attachment, expectation, moving with the tides, moving with the flow in my own life. I got some really shitty news this week about, as many of you know, I underwent a surgery back in September, which wasn't successful. And I'm kind of finding myself at the end of the line with the chronic illness I've been dealing with for a long time. And I only really have a couple of options left, and none of them are really very good. And one of the options that I'm going to be doing really kind of changes the course of my year. I'm going to be undergoing another surgery. I'm not quite sure when, and I will let you guys know when. But I won't be able to talk again for an undetermined amount of time. Probably at least a month. And, you know, I had all these plans for the Patreon. I'm like ready to launch it. I was so excited. I was probably going to be announcing it in this video. And that can't happen now. And, you know, that's just one aspect of disappointment around the whole thing. But I've had to really let that go in the last couple of days. Like, okay, I was really excited for this year. I had a lot of visions around it. I had a lot of plans, but I guess that's not what's happening. And there's a lot of grief, you know? So, yes, if you have been feeling the shifts and the changes, and of course, this is so personal. It's collective, but it's personal. So I guess the last thing I want to say, and of course we will be talking lots about these nodes for the next 18 months, but I guess the last thing I want to say is that South Node Scorpio is about looking into the parts of our life that destroy us, that are not good for us, that are toxic for us, the parts of our life that desperately need exposure so that we can begin to heal them, so that we can reach for that North Node in Taurus, which represents more stability, better health, better choices, better values, better security within ourselves and our life. But it's a process. First, we have to kind of weed the garden or, South Node Scorpio can be like the deepest, darkest part of the ayahuasca ceremony, right? The purge, the ego death. So that is a new essence that we are all adjusting to at the moment. And now to speak on the new moon in Aquarius. Again, right here at 12 degrees. So here we are, a new moon, a new cycle. And what makes this new moon interesting is it is conjunct the planet Saturn. Now, this suggests that there is a heaviness or a seriousness, at the very least, about this new cycle. It also suggests a sense of determination around this new cycle. Saturn rules the long term and it governs the plan spanning far into the future. These are not small decisions. It can have to do with our career. It can have to do with our commitments. Of course, wanting to look at where Aquarius rules your chart and the aspects that it may be making to other planets. But a new moon conjunct Saturn definitely suggests that these are serious things we're thinking about, contemplating, and it can insinuate that the choices we are making around this new moon have implications that span far into the coming months. Aquarius also traditionally rules friends and community, so there can be an aspect around this new moon that involves our connections with others, or a new step forward regarding our friendships and connections with others, community, etc. And Aquarius, of course, also rules innovation. So this may be experimenting or new moon innovation, just this new beginning that reflects the Saturnian kind of outlook. Serious, practical. Now, interesting, the ruler of the new moon is Uranus. And when we look at Uranus, Uranus is squaring the new moon. A square is a stress aspect, and squares from Uranus bring in unpredictability, turbulence, anxiety, kind of like be ready for anything, be adaptable. It's a destabilizing energy. It's a shifting energy. So again, we see, similar to the Scorpio themes, this theme come in around rapidly changing times or lots of moving parts. Uranus is also about detachment or breaking free. So this can be a new moon where we're making serious reflective steps forward for the long term and also detaching in potentially that kind of hallmark Aquarian sense, detaching suddenly from something that is not working or that doesn't feel in alignment with the path. There are some positive aspects to this new moon, despite the kind of interesting vibe of those aspects. First and foremost, Venus has gone direct. Thank the Heavenly Lord. So on January 29th, Venus goes direct, which is actually tomorrow as I'm filming this. So Venus direct is a bit of a relief because whenever we have a planet move direct, it's kind of like that planet is finally suddenly online. So the planning and the strategy and the delays start to cease, and we start to actually be able to move forward. Now, she's still at 11 degrees, so she's just getting started on her station forward journey. So doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be leaping ahead by any means, but there is clearance there. Similarly, Mercury is preparing to station direct on February 4th, just a couple of days after this new moon event. So the new moon is actually sort of picking up on the Mercury station energies, which can feel sort of like anticipatory or like we're getting ready to start moving in a new direction. And what I love is that Jupiter at 7 degrees Pisces, very strong when Jupiter is in Pisces, is making a really nice sextile to not only Venus, which is now direct, but Mars in Capricorn as well. We talked about this in a previous video, that Mars is getting ready to come and join Venus, which is going to make February a very productive month, because all of the things that we had been planning wherever Venus was transiting retrograde in your chart are now finally not only going to be moving forward, but they're going to have Mars ready to kind of add fuel and stamina to that journey. So projects will begin to move forward much quicker in February. Again, look where Venus was transiting your chart to see what that might bring up. So Jupiter in sextile, Jupiter is about expansion, and a sextile suggests opportunity. So there's this opening here that's really nice. Similarly, Uranus is trining that space as well. Trines from Uranus suggest new opportunities that are sort of not quite what we expected, but might be better. So everything that we were sort of planning for over the last several weeks may now start to move forward around this new moon, but it might be different than we thought, but just go with it. Just allow for it, because Uranus always knows better. Uranus is a very intelligent little planet. He's like a little alien that knows everything, and he's got a much better perspective and intelligence. So just trust and be open to experimentation in this area. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, isn't it? There's a lot of emotional processing happening. There's very important decisions that need to be made, but at the same time, there's a lot of change. I think that this is a really powerful new moon to set an intention and welcome and embrace a way forward that might not look exactly how you had planned, but being open to it, being experimental in that beautiful Aquarian way that Aquarius is so known for. But I will say the presence of Saturn may bring out the colder, detached nature of Aquarius. Sometimes when Aquarius is ill aspected by a malefic, this can feel, I call it the forgotten by God complex. It can feel like the heart is missing from the world. And the heart is what makes us human, right? Because empathy is what makes us human. And when humans lack empathy, they lose their love and their compassion and their kindness and their warmth. So it's not the most warm, fuzzy new moon I've ever seen, but I do feel like it's good for making calculations outside of our emotions in a sense, which can be very helpful. It's like, okay, I need to separate from my fluctuating emotions about a situation, and I need to take action or view things from an outside perspective, objectively, so to say. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a like and a share. I really appreciate it. I'm going to be doing a live soon. I would love to have some face-to-face contact with you guys while I can still speak clearly. I want to tell you guys a little bit more about what's going on with me. I may do a live here, but more likely I'll do it on Instagram. I'm going to put my Instagram up there on the screen along with my email. I am still scheduling readings, not quite sure for how much longer. Just like with everyone else, I'm just moving and flowing with it. So if you want to get a reading, it might be good to reach out now. I may end up closing my books in a few weeks, not sure. I will let you guys know if I do. But if you want to reach out for a reading, do so at my email, coyotestarastrology.com. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.